Have you been solving mathematics and be getting so in arithmetic we have the addition sign, the subtraction sign, the multiplication sign, and the division sign. Some call the addition sign you add or you plus, the subtraction sign you minus or even you subtract, the multiplication times you times, and even the division sign you divide. So these are just the shortcuts we normally use to indicate them, or to say we want to do this thing when we are solving arithmetic. Then in mathematics, yeah, sometimes like they will tell you that when you want to cross a bracket, this one will change, this one will change. So I hope that this video we focus on when does this sign really change. These are not only the signs we use in arithmetic, there are many others, but I want us to use this one. Let's focus on this one and let's get something out of this video. Please, if you are new to the channel, please click on the subscription button and the bell notification to notify you when you keep more updates on upload videos. Stay tuned and watch our video to the end. The addition sign is a sign that indicates that you have to add, and when you add, when it's in algebra, you add those with same like terms. For example, you have 2 plus 2 gives us 4. We have 2s plus 3x gives us 5x. The reason why you can add is that they are both with same like terms, the x. But let's take for example, if you are given something like 3y plus 3s. When you look, you notice that they can add. Because, okay, let me break this down so that you can understand what I mean by they cannot add. You can't add them together. We have that y plus y plus y plus s plus s plus s. It doesn't make sense. What you have to notice that when you are adding, you add those only with same like terms. Then coming to the subtraction sign, you are asked to remove this from this. We are asked when you are like, let me give you an example and explain well what I mean by you subtract. You have 5 minus 3 is equal to 2, 3 minus 2 is equal to 1, and 5 minus 7 is equal to what? Okay, before I answer that question, I want to use a word problem to solve this subtraction sign. Like, subtraction is in form of I'm owing. When you are minus, it's in form of you are depending on a plus, you are owing someone. Remember that in any arithmetic, the first numbers here without any sign means that there is a plus sign. It's just simply what it means now. So let me explain this 5 now. 5 minus 7 now. I'm owing 7. Like I went to a shop to buy something. I bought 7 oranges and I paid for 5. So it means that I have to balance to how many now? 2. So since I'm still owing, it has to be minus 2. So that is when you are answering a question and it comes with minus. So it means that you are still owing, you have to pay back. So another thing you have to note in minus is that it also works with variables. When it's a coefficient of x, it's a coefficient of y, you have to observe know whether you are subtracting the same items. Like when you're giving, you have that 5s minus 3 or s is equal to 2s because they all have the same variables. They are all with same coefficients. But when you're giving 4s to subtract 2y from it, it can go. Just simply the same thing as this now. The both, you can't find s where there is y, you can't find y where there is s there. So just something the same as that. Then we have to move over to the multiplication sign. The multiplication sign, take note of this. When you are solving an algebraic expression, you have to note that when you are asked to times, when you are asked to multiply, it means you have to multiply. But when you are asked to find x, it means you have to find x. The both are not the same. Times goes this way, x goes this way. So multiplication sign, it just means that forget about the variable, forget about the coefficient. What I have to do, just take this, multiply it by it. Just simply means that you have that multiplication where 1 times 1 still gives us 1, 2 times 2 gives us 2, 4 times 4 gives us 16. And that thing I want you to note when you are solving the multiplication sign or when you are dealing with multiplication is that multiplication is just something like when you are asked something like 8 times 4. All you have to know is that it means you count 8 into 4. When you're asked to multiply, this is just simply what they ask you to do. You just write down the first one, then multiply means that's first one into the number, the next number there. If you are even asked to find 2 times 2, it means you just have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why 2 times 2 gives you 4. So here, when you have to multiply, you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You just count all of them. Then when you count, it then gives you 32. Then another thing you have to note is that the multiplication sign doesn't deal with all these variables. Like, even if you have to multiply s to y, it can go. S to z, s to this one, s to the other one, it can go. Because multiplication, we are just asked to count everything you write down. Just count them. Let's take this for example now. You're asked to calculate 3s multiplied by 5y. Okay, just like you are given 3 apples now and asked to multiply it by 5. All you have to do is just draw in form of matrix. This is your y, this is your s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it means 3 into 5. When you multiply 3 by 5, you put back your signs. So you put back your s and y there, giving you that 3s times 5s gives you 15sy. The next sign is the division sign. The division sign simply means you have to divide the numerator by the denominator. For example, you are given 2 digits and asked to divide this by. By means the denominator. The one they are asked to divide is the numerator. So when you're asked to divide, it means you just have to put the numerator first and then the denominator second. Okay, when you are given, for example, 6 divided by 2, it means you should put your 6 over 2. How many 2 are in this? That is simply what it means. How many of the denominator are in the numerator? If they are 1, if they are 2, if they are 3, you just write it down. That is how you divide. If there is none, you just keep it that way, or you convert to a proper fraction. So that I have in 1/6, you are going to find 3. You are going to find 3 2s. I don't know whether you understand what I mean now. Like, if you should have to bring 6 here, something that is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 now. When you're asked to divide, just same thing as when you're asked to remove. How many of what you are dividing is inside the numerator? For example, now, how many 2 are in 6? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. How many 2 can I remove? I remove the first 2, the second and the third, without any remainder. So it means that 2 can divide 6 perfectly, and there are 3 2 inside 6. That's the answer here. 3 you are seeing here. Then, when you are solving with coefficient of x in algebraic expression, you have to know that it's just same thing as when you're adding or even subtracting. It goes with same coefficient. You cannot divide y by x. You cannot divide x by y. Just something simple like that. So when you divide, it means that it's in form of you have to split what you are dividing all over what is dividing what you are dividing now. So from there you have that when you are asked to divide 18s by 3 or 18s by 3s, the both can go, because when there is no coefficient, it's just simply the same thing as you can find this in this. When it has same coefficient, it means that you can find this exactly in this and you can remove it. But when you are given 2 different coefficients like 18x divided by 3y, it can go. Let me split this and then divide. You are asked to remove in a basket that you have 18 balls there. So you are asked to remove 3 balls. Like, how can you find 3 balls out of 18? How many times can you remove 3 balls out of the 18? That's just simply what division means. How can you remove this thing? Keep removing it till the whole thing finishes. So from here now we have that you can remove the first 3 balls, the second 3 balls, the third 3 balls, the fourth, the fifth, then the sixth. So it means that when 18 is divided by 3, it gives you 6. So since the 3 here does not have the coefficient of x, you put back your x. This gives you your answer. But when both the numerator and the denominator has the same coefficient, then it means that the both will cancel itself. The s here will cancel the s up here. So the answer will then be 6. So I hope you understood something for this division. Then let's check when you want to cross the sign of equality, when all those times, when does the sign really change? When you look in this chart now, you see that plus times plus gives us plus. Minus times minus is equal to plus. Minus times plus gives us minus. Plus times minus equal to minus. Let's use numbers to express this so that you can understand this better. When you look closely, this is simply when you are multiplying. You also have a situation when you are going to add or subtract. How does the sign change there? Sometimes in simple arithmetic, this can always vary when you're solving a normal arithmetic, because sometimes the one with the positive sign may be bigger than the one with negative, or the one with negative may be bigger than the one with positive. So here, I won't tell you that minus minus will give you plus, or this one. It depends on your sign. But whenever you are trying to tackle something like this and the positive number is bigger than the negative, then you have to interchange their positions. Let's take, for example, if you are given minus 2 plus 4. All you have to do is just interchange their positions, so it can be 4 minus 2 plus 4 minus 2. That's it. We just look something simple and you always get your answer. You just give you that 4 minus 2 is 2. So just as simple as this. You can also apply them for that. Then division. In division, you also have to consider the signs, because the signs always changes. In division, we have minus 6 divide plus 2, minus 10 divide minus 5, plus 4 divide plus 7, plus 2 divide minus 4. From here, you have to take note of the signs. Let's first of all arrange it in the division method, like you arrange first of all, then know what next to do. Okay, we have minus 6 all over plus 2. Okay, in real life situation, it's just same thing as I'm owing Madam Okeke 6 oranges. So, and I used to earn 2 oranges in a day. So, how can I pay the Madam Okeke now? I can pay Madam Okeke if I will be giving him or giving her the 2 per day. So if I'm giving 2 oranges per day, how many days will I use to clear my debt? It's just something as this. You are still owing the debt, you are just assuming. So for you to pay the debt, you have to pay in 3 days, and you have to pay the debt 3 times. You have to pay that your 2 earning 3 times. So it means that when this your 2 divides the minuses, the minus still retains this position to give you minus 3. When you are owing and you want to pay what you are owing, you are holding the money you have to pay. It's in form of in your own income now, in your own credit alert. You have to remove some. The one you are removing is already a minus. It has already removed some values from your credit alert now. So when you remove, it's like minus. Let me use that my minus now. Those debit entries, and let me use it to pay my debt. When you want to pay with your debt, it means that I have to cancel the both minus, because when you give a normal owing, so it's just the same thing as this. The minus, we cancel the minus. You can't pay and still owe the debt. So when minus cancel the minus, it becomes 10 over 5, and 10 over 5 is 2. So let's check when plus is dividing a denominator with plus. Just go straight. Plus divide plus. Give you answer straight. When you have plus 2 all over minus 4, it means someone is going to pay you money now. I have 2. Like the person is owing me 4. And when the person pays 2 now, how much is the person still owing me? It's still owing me minus, because it's still going to pay. So the minus now makes 2 over 4 remains. When you cancel 2 here, it gives you 1 over 2. Then the minus comes up, because the person will still pay me. Another aspect I would like to touch, where the signs also changes, is the inequality signs. What are these inequality signs? We have the less than, the greater than, the equal to. From the signs of equality, when a positive sign crosses from one side to another, the sign must change. Then when it comes back, it also changes. Let's take, for example, okay, from this expression now, we are asked to collect items, for example. Now, you know 2s cannot add with 5, so 5 has to find 10, so it must cross the sign of equality. And when it crosses sign of equality, you have that. So it gives you something like this. The sign always changes immediately it crosses sign of equality, and when you want to reverse it back, it also changes. So plus we change to minus when crossing sign of equality. Then multiplication changes to division when cross the sign of equality, and division changes to multiplication when cross sign of equality. Let's take it for example, when you are asked to use the coefficient of s to divide both sides. All you have to know is that when the coefficient of s here crosses the sign of equality, it is 2. Okay, let me just simplify this so that you can understand what I mean. This is the same thing as saying 2 times x. So when you want to divide, it means that the coefficient of s there should divide both sides. It means that the coefficient of s here is 2 and 2. So the multiplication here turns to division. When you cancel, then x will become 5. So from this, I hope you have learned something on how to change sign of equalities. Even when, okay, let me give you one example before I end the video. Like s is equal to 10/7. When you're asked to change back now, all you have to do is that you cross multiply. By cross multiply, it means that s with times 7 to be s7 plus 10, sorry, equal to 10. So 7x equal to 10 becomes the transformation form again when you want to change back.